Okay. So we want to create, and here since per capita sales will be a really small number, we will do sales per 100,000 population, 100K population. Okay. For 100,000 people, how much are we selling? So this is the reason why we brought in the blended data. Okay, so you're going to add up sales for the state, and you're going to look at the population of the state, divide the sales by the population. Okay. Now that would be per capita sales. Now to convert that to 100,000 people, then you have to multiply this ratio by 100,000. So that will give you sales per 100,000 population, right? So we have orders, right? Analysis, create calculated field. Okay. And we will name the field sales per 100K population. Okay. So we do sum sales. Okay. So as you type, it's going to prompt you for the field that kind of matches with what you're typing. Okay. So that's what we want. So we'll close parentheses. So that's going to give us the sum of sales. Okay. Now we want to divide this by population, right? Now it's going to come from the secondary source. So when you type POP, okay, and press the tab key, notice that it does two things. One is it puts the sum function automatically in front. So you don't have to type sum. And if you do type sum, it's going to put another sum and you're going to get error. So you need to clean up after that. Okay, so that's not a problem. But since this is coming from the secondary data source, it puts the name of the secondary data source first and then dot and then the field name. Okay. You won't do this for the primary data source. Primary data source is assumed. So when it's coming from the secondary data source, it puts the name of the secondary data source, then dot. Okay. Now, so this is going to be our per capita sales. Okay. Now we want to multiply by 100,000, so which means we have to enclose that whole thing within brackets and then do 100,000. Actually, you don't have to do that here because multiplication and division, the hierarchy of computation is the same. So the division will take place first and then you will multiply by 100,000. So it will work out okay even if you don't have the brackets around the ratio. But you have to be very careful. You make mistakes. If you don't pay attention to that. Okay, the hierarchy of computation order. So you have to understand that clearly. So to be sure, then we use these brackets. Okay. So now verify that the calculation is valid, and then click OK. So now we have the calculated field right here. Okay. So now we want to use that display field name, okay, label. So that goes into label. So here the label is now replaced by sales. Okay. So now how do we bring both of them in? That's the thing. Okay, let's look at which is we want to do here. 38. So what we want to do is to create figure 238. Okay. So All right. Actually, we don't want that. So I'm going to do this. All right. So this is supposed to be just that. So when you want to keep this and at the same time work some more with that same visualization, so what can we do? We can there it is. So duplicate. So when I click duplicate, so we have the sheet 1 exactly like what it is, and then a copy of it here with all the blending and everything. All right. So now I'm going to remove the population out of here. So now we have sales and by state, and we will bring in sales to color. But what we actually want is to be able to display both. We want to, with the label, we want the label to be both total sales and sales per 100,000 population. So that's what we want to achieve, right? We want, here right now it's giving us the sales per 100,000 only. Okay, so how do we go about doing that? So bring in sales to label. Okay, so now we have both sales per 100,000 and sales. They both are labeled. Okay, by bringing in the two fields into label, we have both. So now we can increase the width like that. Oops. Okay. So we have both sales per 100,000 people and total sales, but without actually a label, a text label indicating what each number is, it's hard for us to understand which is which. Okay? So how do we include a text label in front of the number to indicate what that number is? So click on the label here. Okay. And now the text here. So if you click these three buttons, so that tells you how the labels are created right now. So the aggregated value, so and then the sum of sales. Okay, so you can change the order if you like. But if you add a text in front of that, then that text will show up as label also. So sales, so the first one is sales per 100,000 K. So sales per 100K population, a colon and a space. Okay, so now click apply, you see that that's applied there. Okay. And then for this, so let's say total sales. So apply. Okay. Now, if you don't want this to be centered, okay, sometimes centering is good in some instances. Centering is not good in certain other instances. Okay. So here, you're probably better off like that. Okay. Centering is makes it harder to read. This one is better. And you can change, you can apply different, suppose we want these to be in different color. So you want this to be blue or something. It's actually more colors. And you can control the font in any way you want. Okay. So this is how you will include Alright, so one last thing, format labels to 0 decimal place. Okay. So finally, this one has a title sheet 2. We can include titles to visualizations. So if you double click on sheet 2, so you have the name of the sheet as the title. So the name of the sheet is now being used as the title. So instead, suppose we want to give it as a name, Broken Superstore Sales by State for 2014. Okay. Total and 100K population. Okay. Now we forgot to do one thing. This is supposed to be for 2014. I don't know, maybe it's already filtered, that's why it is broken down. So let's make sure that that is so. Bring in order. Is there an order date? There is. Order date to filter. Okay, we want only 2014. Right. So this is for 2014 total sales and 2014 population, sales for 100,000.